Mention the Armed Forces Special Powers Act and instantly two schools of thought emerge. One supports the act, calling it indispensable for Indian security, for a safer border and to deter anti-national activities. And then you have the people who have been victimized, traumatized and who have never recovered from the alleged horrors committed under this act. Whether Kashmir or Nagaland, you will find thousands who will explain in great detail how this law ruined their lives. The Northeast, as we know, is hardly united on any front. But from Assam to Arunachal, if there is one topic where the region has sort of presented a united face, is in its opposition to the act, often termed draconian because of how lopsided it is towards the security forces. But amid all this, one community is now emerging into such a strong proponent of the act that it will, in short, bring tears to the ultra-nationalists of the nation. Forget opposing the act or even being ambivalent to it. They, in fact, want the act to return to the state. But why is the Kuki community so pro-AFSPA and how will such a demand impact the already devastated state of Manipur? We will give you the answers to these questions in this week's episode of Decoded. Pursuing for months,
a village of Assam,
in the 75th Independence Day.
remember Oting, the village where hard-working workers were gunned down because, well, they were hard-working Nagas returning from mines and hoping to celebrate Christmas? Yes, them. You see, AFSPA has a bloody history in nearly every state of the Northeast. But even within the Northeast, some states have suffered much more due to AFSPA than anyone else. Nagaland, Manipur and Assam are the states that come to our minds when talking about the horrors of AFSPA. Oting was the latest in the long list of AFSPA massacres, and I will not bet against it being the last. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. Now, some of you might think that this is a very, very simplistic argument to explain such a complicated subject. But patience, my friend, patience. Allow me to explain. For the Kukis living in Churachandpur, AFSPA, in their own words, has protected them against Meitei insurgent groups. In short, they believe they are protected because a draconian act ensures impunity to those fighting any and every insurgent group. As long as the Meitei insurgents can do no harm, it does not matter which laws help the security forces. If it is AFSPA, so be it. And this was before May 3. And now contextualize this in light of all that has happened in the past 3 months. The past 3 months have laid bare any idea of a united Manipur. So much so that even talking about a united Manipur appears laughable to some people. Now, whether it is the demand for separate administration or putting up posters of Greater Mizoram, it is pretty clear that the state of Manipur is more divided than ever. So it comes as no surprise that the tribal leadership has no qualms in demanding a law that has been opposed tooth and nail by the Meitei community, especially the women. The tribal leadership, in its defense, says AFSPA is a law that will restore law and order in the region. The Committee on Tribal Unity, or CoTU, a frontal organization, argued recently that if the absolute breakdown of constitutional machinery in the state could not bring the precedence rule in Manipur, then the centre should consider reimposing the AFSPA in Manipur's valley districts, as it would be the only tool that could limp back law and order in the state.
Without AFSPA, the centre's security forces would not be able to recover those looted arms and ammunition. Now, without recovery of those looted arms and ammunition, lawlessness would still prevail and it could still add on to the ongoing crisis. So, only once when the looted arms and ammunitions are recovered, only then can we say that there would be law and order. In the Hill District,
please note that AFSPA was removed from 15 police station areas in 6 districts of Manipur Valley in April 2022. On April 1st, 2023, AFSPA was also repealed from 4 other police stations following the withdrawal of disturbed area notification in Manipur Valley. So far, 19 police stations limits in several districts of Manipur have been removed from the disturbed area notification under AFSPA. Kuki leadership argued that the army and Assam Rifles are facing various challenges in the current turmoil in Manipur following the lifting of AFSPA, mainly in the valley districts. According to Lun Kipgen, the coordinator of CoTU's media cell, to restore the badly disputed peace and completely shattered law and order, the re-imposition of AFSPA in Manipur's valleys is severely vital if President's rule is not going to be imposed. The Kukis believe that only AFSPA can protect them at a time when, let us be honest, the state government has given up even acting like they represent the Kukis too. Since the start of the violence, we have not seen one moment where a BJP Kuki leader and a Meitei BJP leader have come together to speak as one. When the state is so badly divided, communities stop caring about each other's pain. So for the Kukis who have been at the receiving end of what they have time and again called state-sponsored violence, it is clear that they want nothing to do with the government or even the people of Manipur. Since the beginning of the violence, the Kukis have mostly spoken to the center. Since AFSPA is under the center, they believe they have a much better chance of being safe if AFSPA returns to the state. Remember how the Meitei leadership has time and again spoken against the Assam Rifles, even protesting on the streets. The Kukis, on the other hand, have welcomed army personnel mostly, and Kuki channels and groups are full of videos of Kukis requesting the army to stay. Yes, I know EastMojo is the capital of all things anti-Meitei, going by the comments on our stories. That is fine, even if all our attempts to get civil society leaders to speak to us end up falling in deaf ears. You have your rights to disagree with us and our coverage, but in my eyes, EastMojo will truly become anti-Meitei the day it tries to trivialize what AFSPA has done to Manipur and especially the Meitei community. The images of naked women protesting outside Kangla Fort following the brutal rape and murder of Manorama will forever remain a scar on the face of Indian democracy. The struggles of Iram Sharmila and her eventually unsuccessful attempt to get AFSPA repealed from Manipur got support from across the world, but barely any from the hills of Manipur. In her struggle, Sharmila became a champion of resistance, human rights and democracy, but she always remained a Meitei. She barely received any support from the non-valley regions, and as the 27 elections showed, when her struggle ended, she received hardly any support from her community. But Meiteis are not the only opposition to AFSPA. The Nagas of Manipur have made it clear in no uncertain words that they too are opposed to AFSPA returning to Manipur. Many Nagas are still angry at what conspired in voting, the latest in another list of civilian deaths in the name of AFSPA. Here is what Thingrepi Lungharwasi, president of Tangkhul Shanaolong, had to say about the idea of AFSPA returning to Manipur.
This is very unfortunate, first of all. Why our Kuki brothers and sisters, they want to impose a draconian law in our area. I think this has to be removed from the entire northeast. I don't know exactly what is the reason, but I think any right-thinking person will not agree with a draconian law which has made suffer our community for a long time. And what we want is peace, not a draconian law.
Let us not forget that even Nagaland Chief Minister Rio has strongly opposed AFSPA, at least on papers, something even Biren Singh does not do. While Nagas have maintained a diplomatic stance throughout the conflict, of late Naga bodies have made their displeasure clear with the Kuki leadership, with the United Naga Council even accusing Kukis of being habitual liars. The demand for AFSPA by some Kuki leadership is only going to further alienate Nagas and Kukis, and at a time when the state is already so divided, such a development helps no one. The truth, however, is that at this point in Manipur, the idea of unity and togetherness are mostly alien terminologies. The difference in the approach to AFSPA is a perfect example.
Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to EastMojo. For any queries, put them down in the comments section below and press on the bell icon for notifications.